Hi, Richie.
Hi, Sin.
What are we doing this today on the patron-only episode of the Snack Covenant?
Well, Sin, today, we're talking about the Corruption Rune.
Oh, snap. Good choice, Richie.
Thank you. It was my idea. It definitely wasn't we just finished recording something and you said, "We're recording Corruption, get ready, bitch!"
Good.
While you loudly chewed.
Okay, so the Corruption Rune. Let's look at its description. No, that's not what we start with. Silly me.
It's early days, you can come up with, you can change the formula. Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah. Okay. Where do we find the Corruption Rune? Rune.
Annalise gives it to you.
Oh, snap.
Although, technically, you'll probably see corruption beforehand, because the guy with the blowgun in Canehurst, if he hits you, you end up with corruption on your character.
And what type of rune is it? Is it a book? Is it a paper?
Well, according to you, it's a pebble.
I was trying to be funny because I'm using the notes outline.
You decided runes were pebbles.
Yeah, it's true.
Yes.
I did. Do you concur?
No.
Why not?
Okay, so you think that what happens is we kneel in front of Annalise and she hands us a pebble with corruption on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why? Well, what's your counter argument? Go.
Do you think she just has pebbles with corruption on them and she, passes it to us?
Yeah.
Do you think that, the Canehurst guy with the blow gun, is he shooting corruption pebbles?
Yeah.
Okay.
What else? Go. Let's go.
Well, I think it's supposed to be from her blood.
She has little tiny pebbles in her blood?
Why not?
Good.
Because the way that firearms are explained in Bloodborne is that the Quicksilver bullets use your blood to power them.
Okay.
So presumably, the corruption guy is hitting you with these, bullets that have Canehurst blood in them. And that's why you end up with corruption. But it's only temporary.
What I was saying is, why is it only temporary?
I guess because it's just you get hit once and it hangs around and fades away, but with Annalise, she's drink deep of our blood and feel the corruption burn.
You know what I really like?
Chewing.
You know what else I really like?
Sending me pictures of marinated cabbage.
Okay, you know what else I really like?
What, Sin?
Lebanese garlic sauce.
I thought this was going to be serious.
It is serious. I wish I had some right now. I'm eating some chicken, but I think it would be better if I had Lebanese garlic sauce.
So, corruption.
Wait! Richie! Annalise's blood burns because she ate too much Lebanese garlic sauce, and now her blood is all garlicky. She's also a fan of the Lebanese cuisine.
Don't vampires hate garlic, though?
What?
Don't vampires hate garlic?
Well, maybe it's just a rumor propagated by vampires. They actually love garlic.
Oh, so it's their plan is that if they pretend that their garlic hurts them, people will bring them a whole lot of garlic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Wouldn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like reverse psychology, you know?
Yeah.
I need to come up with a new timeline. Did you just applaud me with one single clap?
No, I just, slapped myself yep, it's already like this.
So as
Because
I was
usually
saying,
we're on point for the first, couple of minutes and then it goes bad. But this has just been,
this is patron content, so it's okay.
No, but this is like when I imagine myself as the captain of an enormous ship that's gradually being dragged off course, and I'm frantically trying to get back to port. Yeah.
So, this is for patrons, so it's a lot more authentic, you know what I mean?
Oh.
I need to make a new outline, because the notes thing is not working for the pebbles. Okay.
Anyway, corruption.
Yeah, but I'll follow this outline anyway for now.
Okay.
Because that's all I have.
Okay.
Okay, so click this. Click the Bloodborne.
I'm on there now. That is open
Corruption.
right now.
Okay. In your best Ligarius voice, could you read the entire description of the rune? Okay, we got it.
I only got... Okay.
Why are you I only got halfway
I was reading it. I was at Hunters of Blood who find dregs when you cut me off.
How about... Can you read it as Ligarius in his prime?
Can we just talk about the rune, because it's 7.5 minutes in?
No, first we read the description, and you have to read it as Ligarius in his prime.
Can Ligarius just sound like me?
It's your creative talent. He can sound like whatever you want.
A secret symbol left by Carol, runesmith of Bergenworth. Several runes contain a nuance of blood, including the rune of corruption, associated with the Oath of the Corrupt. Pledges to this oath are Canehurst Vilebloods, hunters of blood who find dregs for their queen, in cold blood, particularly in that of hunters. Yet, the corrupt are heretics in the eyes of the church, and thus subject to the wrath of the executioners.
Bravo, Richie.
Thank you.
That was your best voice work yet.
I'd like to thank the Academy.
Okay. So now let's look at this line by line. A secret symbol left by Carol, runesmith of Bergenworth.
I'm gonna say now, look at this line by line starting with that line is going to send us insane, because they all start with that line.
A secret symbol left by Carol, runesmith of Bergenworth.
Well, when Carol, with the pinnacle of rune technology, went to Canehurst, he/she created the Vilebloods with this rune.
What?
Remember that, pointlessly aggressive comment we got?
Oh, yeah!
Yeah. About how Carol creates the Vilebloods with the pinnacle of rune technology.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. Maybe I could find it and put it on screen.
It means that Carol is a runesmith of Bergenworth, and they were writing down all of the names of all the different runes and what the runes look like, and this is one of them.
Thank you. No, that wasn't that hard, was it?
I'm gonna have to say this every single time, aren't I?
You're gonna have to invent different ways of saying it every single time, though, so think about that.
Mm-hmm.
Several runes contain a nuance of blood. What does that mean?
I actually have no idea. Including
the rune of corruption, the rune we're discussing, associated with the Oath of the Corrupt. Okay, so
yes.
so in my head, when they say several runes contain the nuance of blood, Do you see that drawing of the rune?
Yeah.
Clearly drawn on a pebble. It looks like it was drawn with blood.
Yes,
Look at
it
it.
does. Yeah, it's bleeding.
Yeah, so I think that's what it means.
I think it's meant to be like this rune is connected to blood. Like the Erden runes are connected to blood and the Communion rune is connected to blood. But something like the Eye rune wouldn't be.
Mm-hmm. What is the Oath of the Corrupt?
That's when you pledge yourself to Canehurst and become part of the Canehurst bloodline.
Okay.
Yep.
So it's the next thing. Pledgers to this oath are Canehurst Wildbloods.
Yeah.
So that explains what's the Oath of the Corrupt.
Yeah, it's like, I think we went over this, but like the Japanese script doesn't ever say vile bloods. It just says like it's like the blood line of Canehurst.
Okay, so pledgers of this oath are the bloodline of Canehurst?
Well, bloodline is weird because bloodline sounds like you're actually related to Annalise.
Yeah.
It's more like the
Yeah.
blood of Canehurst is in you.
Okay.
So they
when
made
you
that vile
pledge-
bloods, but then because
Yeah.
they made it vile bloods, they're like, well, now we have to specify that it's just Canehurst. So they call them the Canehurst vile bloods. But it's like an odd. It's kind of awkward because it implies there's like, are there other vile bloods? Are there like people at Canehurst who aren't vile bloods? It just means you have the blood of Canehurst in you.
Okay. So, okay, you have the blood of Canehurst in you. And then
Yeah.
it goes on to say hunters of blood who find drags for their queen in cold blood, particularly in that of hunters. Explain that, please.
If you have the Corruption Rune equipped and you kill
Mhm.
hunters,
Mm-hmm.
you find blood dregs in them and consequently give them to Queen Annalise.
Uh-huh.
This ranks up a completely useless covenant. This is the thing, it's the most useful of the original 3 runes and it almost does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Hunter rune is pointless. The Hunter rune, the stamina bonus you get from that is like borderline unnoticeable. The Executioner one gives you bonus healing, which again, like, the blood vials already heal you 40%. It's not like it gives you a massive bonus.
Okay.
And this one, like, at least it lets you farm dregs that you can get insight from.
Okay.
Yeah.
Find
We can-
drags. What are... Yeah, go on.
Okay, we'll talk about dregs.
Yeah, so
Okay.
what are drags? What does drags mean, first of all?
The idea with blood dregs is it's like the corrupt kind of like icky parts that are in blood. It's like the corruption of humanity that's in the blood.
Okay, but what I was asking the word drag, because I've never heard it before.
Oh,
Playing
okay.
Bloodborne, what does that mean?
It's just like kind of like saying like unwanted leftovers.
Okay. Thank you, Richie.
But it has other connotations. Like you might refer to like if you didn't like a particular group of people, you might say like they're the dregs of society.
Oh, actually, I did hear that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Uh-huh. Wow.
Or like-
You're
like
so good at
4chan
explaining things, Richie.
Like 4chan is the dregs of the internet. It's like saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what the blood dregs are is it's like if you have this rune in you, when you kill hunters, you can find in their blood there's like the corrupt, like the sort of the corrupt parts of their blood. You can take that out
Okay.
because you have it's like Volta seeing vermin.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the blood dregs item kind of expands on this where it says like you see these things and it says in the blood of hunters who are called echo fiends. And that's a really weird line.
Where do you see that?
It's in the blood dreg item.
Oh,
Talks
okay,
about,
okay.
It says hunters are called echo fiends. So
Can you read the
what?
whole blood drag item? Like the
I
whole
thought
thing?
this was about runes.
Well, you brought it up, sir, so I'd like to get a full context of what the F you're talking about.
All right, then I will.
Good.
See, that's reverse psychology.
Oh, damn! Oh, you got me.
Because you were like, no, only the runes, and now I'm like, oh, I guess I'll have a look at. Oh, well, all right, Richie, you do it then.
Yeah, I will admit defeat in this one.
Yes, thank you. So, Blood Dregs, it says that the Vilebloods of Canehurst see these frightful things in cold blood. And it says they often appear in the blood of echo fiends, that is to say, the blood of hunters.
Mm-hmm.
So, again, going back to the Japanese script, the fuck does echo fiends mean?
Yeah.
So what it's doing is it's using a word that's like a drug addict or an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea is like hunters have a relationship to blood echoes that is similar to the relationship someone who is a drug addict has with like their substance.
Mm-hmm.
So it's saying echo fiends because like we call people like coke fiends or whatever if they're like really into a specific drug. So that's what it's getting at.
Okay.
So the idea is like that if you're a hunter, you take all this blood into you and it becomes an addiction. And as a result of becoming addicted, you have these blood dregs in you that the blood hunters of Canehurst can find. That's why it has to be the blood of hunters. And it can't be the blood of, like, a regular person. Because regular people aren't going around absorbing blood echoes.
Okay.
Yeah, and this ties back to what the doll is doing, because the idea behind the doll is that as you build up these blood echoes, she's taking them out of you and turning them into something else. But if you don't have access to the doll, the blood, like, you begin to become addicted, and it takes you over.
Mm-hmm.
And hence you end up with these dregs in you, and that's why people go blood drunk. It's what happens to Eileen in her ending, where she starts screaming about, like, I want a hunter's blood. Yeah. It's what happens to Henrik and what happens to Gascoigne. Mm-hmm. And it's slightly complicated by the addition of Volta, because Volta introduces this idea that it's not necessarily that, it's also the vermin.
Right.
Yeah, because they work very similarly. Like, in this one, you kill people, you look in their blood for these dregs. With Volta, you kill people, you look in their blood for parasites. But obviously one is for other players and one is for bosses.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Oh, and other players as well. Because there's like hostile characters like will drop vermin as well, I think. Yeah, the blood drunk hunters in the Hunter's Nightmare.
Okay. Thank you, Richie. And yet oh wait. So the Queen of Vilebloods. Why are they gathering that stuff for her?
Because if you look at the blood dreg item, the blood dregs kind of look like sperm. Mm-hmm. And in the blood rapture rune, it says that like the queen wants to bear the child of blood. And it says that on the blood dreg description as well. So the idea is we bring all this corrupt blood to Annalise, and through having all that blood in her, she'll be able to conceive. Similar to Ariana. How Ariana is able to conceive because of her blood. So if we give Annalise enough of this, she will be able to have a baby.
Wait a minute.
Wait a minute.
Did we give Ariana any blood dregs?
No.
So...
Because I think the idea is she's already from Canehurst, so she's got that in her. And she's in Erden Chapel.
Oh yeah, and we talked about it, how maybe the queen will only be able to conceive a child if she's under, like, if she's in the same circumstances where, like, she has to be in Erden Chapel, for example.
But I think, like, I think Ariana's blood is stronger, somehow.
But that makes no sense, because the
I
Queen
know.
of Vilebloods is the queen. And people have been bringing her the dregs.
Have they, though? Because she's been locked behind Ligarius.
Well...
And when you join her, she says we're the last two on this earth.
Well, that means they have been... Okay, before she was locked up, surely they were bringing her the dregs.
Yeah, that's where the...
She didn't just come up with the idea, just sitting there in the room alone, being like, oh, well, I'm really bored, I know what to do, dregs. Like, no.
Yeah, but that's where the workshop cord comes from, that she did have a baby.
Did she, though? Well, we don't know if it's
We'll
her
just
baby.
say that she did. Well, yeah, we don't know whose it is.
Just say she did, because if she did, she'd be like, oh my god, fucking Lawrence took my goddamn baby.
No, but she says, like, I am the sworn enemy of the church.
Yeah, you think that's because they hired the executioners to raid her castle.
But why? Okay, why did they hire the executioners to raid the castle?
I know the whole story, I know, but I'm just saying, if that was her baby, she'd be like, also, they stole my kid. They're fucking assholes. Instead, she's like, oh yeah, they're kind of my enemy. But here's an invitation.
Well, they're kind of my enemy.
Yeah.
But they're kind of an invitation.
Yeah. Pretty sure she'd be a little more irate if they killed her baby.
Well, maybe she's just too regal and haughty.
And what?
Haughty.
What is that?
Like, she's like... I don't know how to explain the word haughty. She's like above it all.
I don't know, man.
You know, like someone who's like a member of royalty and like nothing gets in. It's like, ho.
Oh, they raided my castle and killed everyone and stole my child and sacrificed it to the moon presence. Oh, welcome to my palace. Oh yeah. I don't care. I am so unoffended. I would invite Ligarius for tea, but he just sits out there. He's the one that's offended, actually.
It was a social experiment. You killed Ligarius. Congratulations. I already won.
So, then, why doesn't she have another baby after we bring her a bunch of blood dregs?
That's the idea.
What's the idea?
That you're bringing her blood dregs so she can have another baby.
Yeah, but what brought her a lot? If she can have a...
Yeah, it doesn't go anywhere. Baby, it's like
drug baby, she would have a drug baby after we brought all the drugs.
It's like the fair lady in Dark Souls, where she's like, "Bring me humanity, and I'll like heal Blighttown." And it doesn't matter how much you bring her, she won't heal it.
Yeah, because she lied. She didn't think she'd follow through with it, and it's like, oh shit, I just need a little more humanity, and I can totally heal everyone. Do you know what I was doing as I was screaming at you? Do you know what this is?
Is that the program that the thing you wrote out that you're shaking?
No. Actually, okay, my mom gave my boyfriend a hoodie that has a skull. Oh god, what?
Go on.
My mom gave my boyfriend a hoodie that has a skull on it, and it says Merry Christmas. And it's like a really big oversized hoodie. Right. But I was like, Mother, do you know who loves really big oversized hoodies with skulls? She's like, you? I'm like, me. This is my hoodie. So I took it from my boyfriend, and now I wear it, and I'm wearing it right now. And it's so big and oversized, the sleeves are like way too big, so they hang off my hands. And so when I like flail my hands, this is the sound that the sleeves make. Right. So I was flailing my hands into the microphone.
Okay.
So you really think they stole her baby?
They stole a baby. It may not have been hers. It may have been, but I think it makes more sense if it's hers because the blood rapture rune talks about how she's going to carry the child of blood.
Yeah, but why doesn't it say, oh, she already carried one, so this is like another one?
Because the plot is a fucking mess.
Okay. Alright.
Are you gonna add a title card 30 minutes later?
No, because I will seamlessly edit this together. People will not even know where the cut was. they'll be like, there's 30 minutes missing somewhere, but we don't know where it is. I wonder what they talked about. We don't know because Sin is so good at editing things. So we looked over at the description of the rune.
It feels like so long ago.
Okay, let's look at the description as a whole. So several rules contain the nuance of blood. Oh, okay. So yet the corrupt are heretics in the eyes of the church and thus subject to wrath of the executioners. Tell me about that.
It means that if you have Corruption Rune on and someone else has the Radiance Rune on and you get summoned, oh no, they're a heretic. Now they're hostile.
Good. Because the
executioners, this is because they're heretics in the eyes of the church and therefore subject to the wrath of the executioners, an unrelated faction from a faraway land.
Yes, exactly. And if you'd like to know more about the executioners, well, this is on Patreon. People who are on Patreon are true members of the Snack Covenant, so they know there's an execution podcast. Okay. So in your own words, what do you think this rune does?
I think it lets you collect blood dregs and gives you a useless continuous heal power. So, like, the continuous heal, you have to be below 1/8 of your hit points. So you have to be at 12.5% hit points.
Okay.
And then it very slowly climbs back to 12.5%. In a game where just regular attacks will take off 30 to 40%. So it is completely and utterly useless.
Okay. Okay, good.
No, it's not good. It's dreadful, but it's still the best of the three.
Oh, God.
Because it has some very minor utility.
So, you know what, though, Richie?
What?
Vampires usually drink your blood, but this rune gives you health?
I think it's meant to be like you're undead. You're like Annalise, so you heal when you're hurt.
Oh, cool. Oh my God, let's look at the actual rune, what it looks like. What does this represent? Like the drawing that's on the rune.
It looks like it's meant to be the chain of blood. Like the blood line starting off big and then getting smaller and smaller as it, like, passes through the generations.
Doesn't it look like some ancient symbol as well?
Like a DNA helix.
It's not an ancient symbol.
I didn't hear that part. I just said, does it look like a...
Oh, an ancient symbol!
What, like a caduceus? The two snakes entwined.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Is that what I'm thinking?
I don't know what you're thinking.
I don't know either.
Subscribe to patreon.com for What Is Sin Thinking? A tiresome and frustrating podcast. In which Richard spends hours trying to understand what sin means while she yells at him.
It's like, no, I'm thinking of an Egyptian thing.
Oh, an ankh.
Yeah? Maybe?
This is going to be the new sketchy boss arenas. Sketchy runes.
Okay, so I just googled Egyptian symbols. Okay, look at that. There's the second, the fourth one on the left row from the top.
Oh yeah.
You see that? What does that mean?
I don't know. Apparently it means H.
H for healing?
Did you hang on, did you mean this one?
I was thinking maybe, yeah.
Yeah, that's an
Yeah. Yeah. So it's like a mix of those two. So what letter is that?
Ankh.
Yeah, what letter is that?
I don't think it's a letter, it's just a symbol.
Well, aren't all symbols letters?
What letter is 8? It's a symbol.
It's also infinity.
On its... Yeah, I guess. Yeah. Okay, so...
Fucking asshole. What letter is 8? Bully of 2035.
It looks a bit like Communion. It looks a bit like Formless Erden. It looks a bit like Moon. It kind of looks like Erden Rise. Like the way that it's like the curved design. It looks like blood going into a chalice, basically.
It looks a little bit like air as well, right? Somehow. Yeah. I don't know. I'm sleepy. Okay. So, I feel like I need a nap. Can I nap for 10 minutes and you keep talking about the rune?
I don't think there's anything else to say about the runes.
Go on.
No.
Usually it works.
It looks... Okay, Corruption kind of looks like... The Moon Rune or the Formless Erden Rune, where it's like stuff coming down from above into like a hemisphere. And it looks a bit like Communion.
I know what it reminds me of. But I don't know what it's called. Okay. How do I describe it? Okay. Okay. So think an 80s slasher movie. They're in a camp. Okay?
Friday the 13th.
Yeah, whatever. And sometimes in the camp, they have like a statue made of wood, and it looks like it's a face on a face on a face. That's the image I'm getting. I don't know what it is, though. You know what I mean? I don't know why I'm thinking Friday the 13th, but I feel like in American movies, when they have like a slasher camp, like you see that statue in like camps.
Was it Jason Lives Friday the 13th Part 6?
Oh no.
Because that had a face on a tree.
No, but it's like a face on a face on a face. And it's like wooden. Like there's one at the bottom, there's another one on the top, and another higher.
Well, like a totem pole.
Yes! Okay! Yeah, a totem pole. Yeah, I just googled it. Yeah, that's what...
Okay.
Okay, I see. Yeah.
Okay,
it looks like... I don't know why. That's what it... Yeah, that's what it makes me think of.
Okay.
What's a totem pole? Let me see.
It's like a Native American thing.
Uh-huh.
Have you not seen one? Aren't you on the right continent?
I've only seen that in like movies and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah. For some reason, I associate it with, like, 80s slasher camp movies.
I see.
Yeah. What did you post? What is that?
That's from Friday the 13th, part 6. Because
Okay,
I was
like
looking
this.
Friday the 13th, tree face, because you kept saying tree face.
Well, it was a very abstract image. I didn't have it. I could have described it better if I remembered what it was. But it was very, very abstract.
There's a 1999 slasher movie called Totem.
Mm,
It was possibly that.
maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Maybe I'm just, like, mixing.
You're remembering the first boss from Sonic 2.
First boss from Sonic 2? Who's that?
Oh, it's just the second one. Because Dr. Robotnik has, like, it's like 2 totem poles that shoot arrows at you.
Oh, maybe I am. Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Well, you see?
God.
You see? You're like, what is Sin thinking? We figured it out. It wasn't even that complicated.
We figured it out. 1 hour, 6 minutes.
Okay. So, what does the overview part of the Bloodborne-wiki talk about for the rune?
About what?
What?
You
There's
just
an
said, what does
overview.
the O of corruption?
But yeah? What did I say?
You just said, what does the overview say? And like, of what?
It's 0 hours, 47 minutes.
Well, just record 2 things in a row!
It was like impromptu.
Carol runes are special items that you can attach to your character at the workshop in the Hunter's Dream. You can use up to 4 at one time, and they provide a variety of very helpful effects. Use them tactically depending on the environments you plan to explore and the enemies you expect to face. Before you can make use... This is all of the runes, by the way. This is not special... I'll just skip down to Corruption.
Okay.
The Corruption Oath rune effect provides you with a small amount of continuous healing when you are low on health. This effect can save you, of course, but it can also work against you. If you like to use the Poor Man effect on your weapons, be warned that healing can ruin the effect. Poor Man is a gem bonus that gives you bonus damage at low health.
Okay.
So if you have Corruption and you get to low health, it can heal you. When Corruption Rune is equipped, killing other hunters, brackets players or enemy hunters, and a few NPCs will grant you a Blood Dreg. So the NPCs who drop the Blood Dreg are Alfred, Brador, Eileen, Dura, Simon, Volta, and Yamamura. The hunter enemies who drop Blood Dregs are, you know all the hunters in the game who fight you, it's those. I'm not reading them all out.
Why not?
Yahagul Hunter brackets Rifle, Spear, and Ludwig's Rifle. Yahagul Hunter brackets Tonitrus and Wooden Shield. Bloodcrow of Canehurst Dura's ally, Hunter of Despair brackets Hunter Axe, Hunter of Despair brackets Hunter Cane, Old Hunter Henrik, Yuri the Last Scholar, Yahagul Hunter brackets Threaded Cane and Flame Sprayer, Yahagul Hunter brackets Beast Claw and Hunter Pistol, Yahagul Hunter brackets Rifle, Spear, and Cannon, Choir Intelligencer Edgar, Younger Medaris Twin, Dura's Disciple, Bestial Hunter, Church Doctor brackets Ludwig's Holy Blade and Repeating Pistol, Church Doctor brackets Threaded Cane, Yahagul Hunter brackets Church Pick and Repeating Pistol, and Church Doctor brackets Threaded Cane, Repeating Pistol.
Thank you.
That's quite alright.
What does it say under testing?
Oh my god! Continuous heal near death triggers when HP drops below 12.5% of your total HP. You heal 1 HP every 60 frames. It's useless.
And we already talked about the online...
I think we've talked about all of this in like 8 different things, and you're like, no, talk about it again.
What about availability?
Read Meth's wiki while I eat loudly is the new...
Can you only get it from Annalise?
Yes!
You know some runes have multiple versions of the rune?
Yeah, this doesn't!
Are you sure about that?
Yes!
No, Skynhurst Wildbloods and Executioners are hostile covenants. Summoning player from Executioner Covenant, even for cooperation, will lead to PvP. The rune is not available through Bath Messengers, Chalice Bath Messengers, or Patching the Spider.
This is horrible. This is terrible.
No, I think we're tying the game together. I think this is perfect.
People, 4 years after this game came out, I need to listen to a podcast to learn whether I can buy the Corruption Rune from the Bath at the Hunter's Dream.
So, can you... Okay, let me ask you a tough one. You know how the hunter symbol can be found in the dungeons as a drawing?
Yes.
Is the corruption symbol other than when the guy shoots you? So you answered no, that is incorrect, because my question was, can it be found anywhere else in any shape, or form, or drawing? And the answer is yes. But I was about to say, other than when the guy shoots you and it appears on your neck.
Other than that, no.
Okay. We looked at the Japanese version.
I'm looking at that now.
So, wait a minute. So, does Annalise give the rune to everybody who comes to visit her?
It's very confusing because she says we're the last two who are alive. But also there's the Blood Crow who carries Blood Rapture that implies that.
Wait a minute. So he doesn't carry the Corruption Rune?
Well, he might, but he doesn't drop it.
Well, why wouldn't he drop it if he carried it? Why do you get one and not the other?
Bloodborne is a land of contrast.
So maybe he didn't have a Corruption Rune.
Yeah, it's possible.
Okay, what if when Alfred came, actually he's like, you know what, I've been a really big fan of yours and I really want the Corruption Rune. And she's like, no. She's like, you're lame, no, go away. And that's why he killed her. His whole plan was that you defeat Ligarius, so he gets to Queen Annalise because he really wants to be a Wildblood. But when she saw him, she's like, your cone is stupid. And then he's like, oh, no! And then he got mad and killed her.
I'm just lying in the chair, staring at the ceiling, thinking about all the things I could be doing that aren't this. And that if I were editing this, I would just press Control-A and delete. I would just get a text-to-speech program to read out the wiki page. That would be more useful than...
Okay, Richard, do the outro.
I'm sorry.